Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. Hope everybody's doing great. We've been having a great time. Appreciate you guys taking a little time out of your Tuesday to hang out with us here at the Roundtable. At the Roundtable, I am your boy, Mr. Fingers, coming to you live from the 405 with this week's Rookie Spotlight. This week, we are highlighting a young man who comes to us by way of Dalton, Georgia, my home state. He is a running back for the Detroit Lions. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about Jahmyr Gibbs. He went to Dalton High School. He 897 yards, 10 touchdowns as a sophomore, over 1,400 yards and 20 touchdowns his junior season. His senior season, 2,500 rushing yards and 40 touchdowns, and was named first-team All-State. And a first-team All-American by Sports Illustrated, played in the All-American Bowl. He was initially rated a three-star recruit. Can you imagine that? He committed to play football at Georgia Tech. Well, we can't all be perfect, but and then at the end of his junior year, he committed to Georgia Tech. But he had offers to play. Check this out. I'm about to have a rant for a minute. Nick, you had your rant. I'm about to have a rant. How the hell you have offers from Michigan, Texas A&M, and North Carolina? Sean, could you please give me the battle cry, sir?
Tar Heels.
Thank you very much, sir. And not only that, they re-rated him a 4-star. Then he had offers from Florida, Alabama, and Georgia. And he decided to go to Georgia Tech. I mean, I can't hate on it because one of the best wide receivers to play college football in professional football in the last 20 years is also a Georgia Tech alum in Megatron. So I can't be all mad at it, but still, Georgia Tech, come on. Anyway, let me stop. Let me move on. This is not the bash to Georgia Tech session. That's coming later on in November for college football, and I'll talk about that later. Anyway, he wound up going to Georgia Tech. And he wound up transferring to the University of Alabama to play for the Crimson Tide in 2002. So he wound up playing for Georgia Tech for a little bit. Anyway, he wound up finishing the 2022 season with 926 rushing yards on 151 carries and 7 touchdowns, along with 444 yards receiving. He declared for the draft, and he was selected in the first round by the Detroit Lions with the 12th overall pick. Now, this kid, here's what I like about him. If you ever watched Jahmyr Gibbs, he's not. Now, he had these ginormous stats when he was in high school, okay? But he's not like uber big stats kid. Here's what he does have. He's got 4.3 speed. If you've ever watched him, one of his skills is dodging between the tackles. Not the offensive line tackles, but dodging between tackles. Just about every time he touches the ball, he makes that first tackler miss. A lot of times, if he can make the first one miss, he can make the second one miss. That 4.36 speed, he gets around the corner. Once he gets by the defender, he is gone. He's short. He's got it's almost like you watch him in an open field running down the field. You can see his head on a swivel, watching the defender trying to calculate which way he's going to pivot or shift to get around that defender. So he's got great field awareness. Not only that, the kid's got hands like butter. He can catch out of the backfield. Now, right now with the Lions, he's not their leading rusher. I mean, Jared Goff still got a little lead in the pipe, so he's still slinging it downfield. Jared Goff has thrown for 1,029 yards so far. We're not here to talk about Jared Goff, but just to kind of emphasize a point that Detroit is not known for their running backs, although one of the best running backs ever to play the game played in Detroit. But right now he's their second leading rusher with 179 yards on 39 carries. Doesn't have any touchdowns just yet, but he's just getting started. I think he's just making his way. Just like he had to kind of take a little detour through Georgia Tech for a little bit and hang out in the slums before he decided to move over and shift over to Alabama. I said it, Georgia Tech, come at me. But what I'm looking for this kid, I think he's going to do, as I say at the end of every segment, I think this kid is going to do big things in the league. I mean, he's got a shit like where Zeke came in the league and his thing was he wanted to run people over. He's more of a finesse runner. And as we know, finesse runners, as long as they don't, have any unfortunates with all those ligaments and tendons or bad tackles, tend to have a longer shelf life in the NFL, especially those that can catch passes out of the backfield as well. Because now you've gone from having just a hammer to having a Leatherman. And if you're not familiar with a Leatherman, it's like a pair of pliers and it's got Phillips screwdrivers and it's got flat tip screwdrivers and it's got a bottle cap over there and it's got a thing where you can open up cans of tuna in the whole nine. This kid is like the Leatherman of running backs, and he is going to do, I think, great things in the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today's Rookie of the Week, Jahmyr Gibbs of the Detroit Lions. I have been Mr. Fingers, and this has been your Rookie of the Week segment. Holla at you, boy.
Well, thank you, Mr. Handy. We will holler at you. Well, actually, we always holler at you, but that's a different story. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, y'all be trying to tell me to shut up.
Right. Hey, no, not at all, sir. We appreciate you.